Hello everyone and welcome to part 3 of our tips and tricks series, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the different types of stamps that are out on the market. And I will start with two that we at Close to My Heart do not have in the program anymore. We used to have wood mounted stamps too, but that's a long time ago. But they're still on the market. Some people might still have them and there's nothing wrong with them. So what is a wood mounted stamp? Well, as the name says, it is a stamp that is mounted to a wooden block. You see a cushioning here between the block and your rubber stamp. This is the rubber surface. And you see the image usually on the other side. A problem is when you want to stamp with these in a specific spot, you can't see through. So it's hard to really get a pinpoint on your project. If you need your stamp to be in a certain spot, you need a stamp positioner for that. Otherwise, all you have to do is ink it up, stamp away, clean it up, put it aside. The second one that is on the market too, it's called a clear, what do you call it? Clear mount. Clear mounted stamp. What it is, it's pretty much this part of the stamp without the wooden block. So you have your cushioning, you have your rubber stamp, and you have a piece of paper on the back you take off. And this is not sticky for our fingers, but if you use a clear block, you can attach it right on top here and it stays on and you can stamp away, no problem. The only part, again, even so now the image is a little bit smaller, if you want to position it somewhere perfectly, you need a stamp positioner. Otherwise, it's a little bit hit and miss. But that is a clear mount. So technically they're the same stamp type, just one has a wood backing and the other one has to be mounted on a clear block. So those are the two that are out on the market as well. And then we come to our clear stamps that we offer from Close to My Heart. And as the name says, they're clear, so you can see through. So it makes it really easy to position them on your project. Or if you have to line something up, it's super easy. They come on this carrier sheet. And if you never have used those, if they're very new, you want to start carefully removing them from the carrier sheet, because otherwise they might rip. And what I usually do is when I have new stems that are really hard stuck on here, I started with the corner and then I just kind of like carefully peel the whole thing off. So what do you do now? Now you have this smooth surface and then you have your stamping part. And the same thing with the clear mount, you just adhere it to a block. And the block size, does it matter? It kind of does. If you're new to stamping, you don't want your block to be super huge or too small. The best way would be something like this, is a small skinny one. I would put this, if you have something like this, on a small skinny block. Simply because it just gives you better grip to stamp with it. If you put this on a bigger block like this one here, the tendency often that people have is when they start stamping, if it's in the middle and you have a lot of wiggle room here, so instead of going straight down, you might do rocking, which for some images is not a big deal. If you're stamping phrases and words, it is a big deal. So you want to make sure that your stamp is fitting perfectly on a block. You can use others, you just have to be careful. So if you want to peel this off again, same thing. After you clean them, you peel them off and you put them just back on your carrier sheet so you never lose them, and you're done. Here's another one that is new, so you just keep rolling them off. So if I want to put this on here, that's not too bad. I got a little bit space here now, but you know, it's easier because it's a bigger surface. Would I be putting this on this one here? Naturally no, because it's not fitting right. but blocks come in different sizes, and I show you in a second. This one here would be even better because it's really nice and square and the stamp fits nicely on it, so there's not much room to rock and roll with your block. And these stems, and then there are these tiny little ones where we even have little blocks for. So the nice thing about the clear stems, like I said, and I'm gonna peel this off here. This is a phrase. Put this aside for now. And sometimes when I have a line like this, I just drop it, the stem side down. So this is the sticky side, and then I line my block up. That way it's straight. If you have Close to My Heart blocks, they even have a line here where you can really line it up good. But this works for me. So let's try and do some stamping so I can show you what I mean with rocking. You want to ink it up. And another thing, if your stems are new, especially the clear ones, what you want to do is you want to season them. What does this mean? You just take them and you stamp off. Let's do this here. Off, ink, and you do this multiple times until you have a nice crisp image. You can also just take something and clean your stamp really good. Some people rub it over their skin. The reason being, when they were made, there might be a little bit oil or other residue left on them. So start with that. Now, let me show you a different. So if you look at these stems, and let's hold this one against or next to it, you can see that there is a difference between the stem. Besides that, this is rubber and this is like acrylic. You see this cushioning here? Well, this stamp doesn't have a cushion, right? And you need a cushion a little bit to kind of like when you stamp, that you can don't press too hard, and you have a little bit of something to press against it. If it's straight on the block, it works in most occasions when you're good at stamping. But if you don't get a crisp image, you need something to cushion. And every stamp set from Close to My Heart comes with this little sheet inside the pouch. And you put this underneath your paper. You put your paper on top. Then you ink your image up. And you go straight down and up. And you have a crisp, nice image. Straight down and up. Try not to, and this is a good example here. This one is in the middle, but see how I can rock and roll with it? And if you press too hard, what happens is either if your ink got on your block, you get images of that. And with some lettering, it smudges and it really spreads the letters out. So you have a really, see how thick these lines are compared to these. So if you stamp something like words or fine lines, you go straight down with a little bit of pressure and straight up. And that's all you need to do. So with every clear stamp, remember to roll it back up. With every clear stamp, you need some cushioning underneath your stamping paper, the paper you want to stamp on. And we provide you with a small one in every set of stamps you buy. If you followed the first video, we were talking about the Versa mat. And if you flip it around, there's a cushioning on the back. You can use that. Something that is not super hard, but also not super soft. For example, let's take this little paper towel and let's see, I just grabbed this line of dots. And another thing, while I got this, you can put a straight line in there, or that's the beauty of those clear stems, you can actually bend it if you want to. So if for whatever reason I need a bended piece, I can do and bend it like this. And then you ink it up. And now when I go down here, what happens is big, squishy, hard to see, but see, those are not nice rounds. They all have a shadow to them. And if you have a solid image, you might even get the impression of the paper towel that you put underneath. So make sure you have a good solid base when you're stamping. Go up and down. That's straight off the mat here, but can you see how much nicer this is, how smaller those dots are? So make sure not to rock, not to push too hard, and to have a good surface underneath. And this is for all clear stems. I'm talking close to my heart. If you have issues with other companies, likelihood is that it's the same problem, that you don't have a good cushion, or sometimes they're just the quality is not good. Sadly, that's happening too. So especially when you're looking at words, images is a different story. And as I mentioned, blocks. So for all these clear stems here, you need something to adhere them to temporarily to do your stamping. And as I showed you, they come in different sizes. And there are even bigger ones here. And you can find them in our catalog on page 76. And here are all the different sizes you can get in the catalog, and they give you exact, the 1x1 is the little one here, and then this one, if you're not sure what it is, it always is etched on the side here too. This is a 2x2. This one is a 2x3.5, and this is a very versatile 1 and 3.5. So they all have their numbers on there and sizes on there. And the nice thing is too, we have a whole starter block set, which is really great, which includes a 2x2, a 3x3, and this one. So there's another 3x3. I have one somewhere here. There's the 3x3. So this is the starter set, which I really highly recommend if you don't have any blocks. And then I would get these two, which is the 1x1 and the 1x3.5. So these 5 you can get a lot done with. And if you're not sure, if you buy a stem set and you're not sure what blocks you might need, if you look underneath, and I just grabbed this one here, you see the stem set, and then it says recommended blocks: 1x1, 1x3.5, a 3x3, 2x3.5, and in this case a 5x6 for one of the bigger images. But it tells you which blocks should be used for this set. So have a look. If you buy a stem set and you're not sure what size of blocks you need, like for example here, it's only the 1x1 and the 1x3.5. These are great for stamping on, you know, your phrases and everything on there. So have a look, check out what sizes you need. But like I said, this starter kit, this is the kit that it comes with, and I would go with those two as well, because they just are so versatile, and those are the ones I use the most too. And if you look at this set here, for example, this is the stamp of the month for February. So currently available, you have these fine lines, you have these tiny little ones. They all go on the 1 inch. These ones fit on the 2 inch, 2x2. Then the long ones I put on these ones, and even this one can carry if you want to, you know, stamp multiple lines. Then these smaller ones here fit on those two on the block. So these are really versatile. Page 76 from the catalog. And I will explain to you next time how to properly take care of them, clean them. And also we will talk a little bit about the different types of inks that are available, what you can do with them. So if you never have tried our stamps, I highly recommend them. The images are really nice and crisp. And like I said, you need a couple of blocks to go with it. Be careful when you take them off, and don't forget you need the cushion, and it comes with every pouch. And here's a little instruction sheet with your stamps. As you can see, I'm stamping today where it tells you what you should do before you start and how to clean them. But remember to roll them off carefully. Don't pull because they might rip. And other than that, put them back in your envelope, and you always find the whole set with no problem. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and we will talk about taking care and cleaning your blocks and your stems next time. And we will also talk a little bit in the following ones about different inks. One thing, stamp of the month, if you have not seen it yet, but I just show you a little card here where I actually, the background is stamped with different inks and all the images that are in here pretty much. So I used the swirls, I used the arrows, I used the little bows, the dots, that dotted line, and just in different colors. So, and then the inside, a couple of the hearts and the dotted line here. So if you're a doodler and you don't like to do your own doodles, or you have a hard time, here's the line. There's the dotted line too that I used on the inside. It's right here. And the nice thing, like I said, is any of these you can put into circles, into bows, whatever you need to do, because since it's a clear stamp, it's very flexible and you can bend them a little bit, which is really nice, even with words. So what we stamped here, love, joy, happiness, EXO, you could make it in a little wave too if you wanted to. All right. I will see you next week. Enjoy the weekend, and I hope you learned a little bit more. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.